Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to talk a little bit about weight loss. So a lot of people have misconceptions. Basically, if you are overweight and you start running on a treadmill versus you're in a very good shape and you're running frequently on a treadmill, what would burn more calories? So I've seen a debate online some time ago about one group of people saying if you are running on treadmill when you're out of shape, then basically you burning more calories, and the other group says no, it's the opposite. So basically when you're in a very good shape and you're running on a treadmill, you're actually burning more calories because you're more powerful, your output is more and so on. But we're talking about specifically exact same timings. Like, yeah, a person who is in a very good shape, he probably can burn more calories than a person who is out of shape, just based on the fact that he's in a very good shape, so he can run longer and faster and exert more energy while doing that. But the problem is people who are overweight, they cannot exert as much energy initially until their cardiovascular system gets up to speed. What I'm trying to say is it's kind of truth and it's a lie. So both sides are right in their own way. The thing is, if you take the same, let's say 10 kilometers run, right, at the exact same speed, and you take two people, one is out of shape and one is in the perfect shape. If they both manage to run this 10K at, I don't know, 10 kilometers per hour, both of them should burn the same calories. In theory, that's what a lot of scientists say, that it's all mileage, it's all the distance traveled, it's all the same energy expenditure. But I personally believe the opposite. That I think it's absolute BS, because when you're out of shape, you're definitely burning way more calories than a person who is in shape. Unfortunately, that's the truth, because first of all, when you're out of shape, you hyperventilating. When you start running, you automatically start feeling very, very sick. It's like anybody who got ever out of shape and then all of a sudden came back to the gym, whatever you're doing, whether it's running a marathon or lifting weights, or I don't know, standing on your hands upside down, doesn't matter. Whatever you do, you instantly feel what? You instantly feel gassed out, you're out of energy, low mood, you hyperventilating, you feeling dizzy, you feel like you're about to pass the hell out. That in itself burns more calories, I guarantee you. Because think about it this way. If you're on a treadmill and you're in the perfect shape and you can run 10 miles and you don't even break a sweat because that's how conditioned you are, versus a person who just came to the freaking gym, never ran a day in his life, he starts running. I remember first time I started running, right? I was like 22 or whatever. And every time and it happens every freaking time. Every time I walk away from sports for whatever, or injury or mental issues or whatever, every time I step away from the gym and then I come back instantly to the gym full force, I start feeling really, really weak. You're just weak. And I'm sure a lot of you done this so many times. When you come back to the gym and you start feeling like there's a freaking needle right under your ribs while you're running, and then your leg starts throbbing, like your muscle starts just kind of, it doesn't understand what's going on. Why are you putting so much pressure on me? That's what's going on. So your body gives you a feedback, like, why are you killing me? Basically, you start running. You never run a day in your life, and then all of a sudden you start running. Yeah, your body gives you a feedback because your body is getting shocked. It doesn't understand what's going on. So as you run, you start hyperventilating, extremely out of shape, you're extremely out of breath. It doesn't feel enjoyable at all. You start sweating like buckets. You're like soaked in sweat for the like first 10 minutes. You're already freaking soaked in sweat. Legs start shaking or something. Your muscles in your legs, the fiber starts throbbing. Every time you come back to the gym after a long layoff, you will feel some side effects. Like I remember I came back, as I mentioned, I came back to the gym after a long layoff. It was few times. This happened a few times. I'm not a robot, you know what I mean? I get time off of the gym. And when I come back to the gym, the first few workouts, they suck. I mean, I don't feel great. As I said, you feel like a needle under your ribs. You start limping. You're running. Your legs are shaking. You don't feel great. You feel like you're about to pass the hell out. That in itself should burn more calories. That's just common sense. You're not a machine. Your body doesn't work like a machine, okay? It's not travel distance, X that, X, Y, and body doesn't work like that. Fit person versus unfit person. Unfit person burns way more calories in that period of time until he adapts to the running and can make it 10K run just like a person in shape. Then when you reach that level, yes, of course, you're probably burning exact same calories like a person who is in shape because you're in shape now. When I run, I limp. Like if I come back to the gym after a long layoff and I start running or lifting weights, my body gives me signs. Oh my God, like I said, I feel like a needle under my ribs, something like stuck, like as if a knife got stabbed in my freaking ribs. I can barely breathe. I can barely expand my lungs. It takes a lot more energy. I sweat buckets. My legs start shaking. Body can handle initial bouts, of course, of those exercises. So do you think if you're suffering that much in those the same 10 minutes running versus the person who is in a perfect shape and running 10 minutes, he's not in sweat, he's just laughing at you, ha ha ha. Yeah, you think he's burning more calories? No, he's not. Of course not. The person who is out of shape burns more calories. Of course, this is not a fix for everything. It doesn't mean you have to walk away from the gym, get freaking out of shape, and then come back to the gym just so you can burn extra calories. No, this is a stupid idea. Don't freaking do it. I know a lot of people think that way. Oh, I'm burning more calories if I walk away and then I get fat and then I out of shape, cardiovascular disease and all that shit. And then I'll come back and I'm gonna burn all these thousands of calories. No, it doesn't work that way. And you're not gonna burn thousands of calories anyway. The point of this debate is just to prove to you that you actually burn more calories when you're out of shape rather than when you're in shape. Because when you're in shape, you're exerting less energy for the same mileage, basically. That's a fact. You're exerting barely any energy for the same amount of mileage. Yeah, if you were in shape, you probably run 20, 30 minutes versus a person who can run only 10 minutes. So technically, yeah, you can burn more calories. But that's the thing, you have to double the time, double the energy expenditure. You're not gonna burn in the same amount of mileage and the same amount of time spent on that treadmill, for example. I'm trying to get my point across. Let's say somebody stabs you in a freaking thigh, right? You're bleeding out, your thigh hurts, there's a freaking knife in your leg, right? And then try to run 10 minutes marathon. Let's say you can run. Let's say it's not such a deep stab, but it's stab enough. Like, I mean, it hurts, it bleeds, it hurts as hell. And you run. Like, you think you're not gonna burn more calories when your freaking leg is shaking and bleeding out, putting so much pressure on yourself just to make them 10K mile? No, yeah, you put a lot more energy just to run them 10Ks with a hurt leg. And my example is in terms of what I'm saying, the hurt leg, because every time you come back to the gym, you have all these side effects, your legs start shaking and so on and so forth. You're not feeling that great. So you're exerting a lot more energy to make it those 10 miles. So yeah, technically you're burning a lot more calories. You should be. I'm just using basic common sense to explain basic concepts because there's a big debate online. If you're out of shape, yes, you do burn more calories, but it doesn't mean you have to walk away and then come back just to get back in shape, just to suffer through all that. It's not enjoyable, first of all. Okay, so it's a fake advice. It's not an advice. If somebody tells you, oh, you're burning more calories because you're out of shape, so that means you have to stay away from the gym and then just come back and you burn 10,000 more calories. That's not how it works, okay? I recommend for everybody to just constantly go to the gym, have a regular routine, regular diet, and constantly hack at it. Don't just skip just because somebody told you that you're gonna burn more calories just because you walk away from the gym. It's easier to get out of shape and be a fat slob and then go to the gym like once a week or maybe once a month and think you burned a bunch of calories. No, it doesn't work that way. It's hard. I see people constantly like recently, I don't know if I mentioned, I think I mentioned in the previous video that I had like an injury in my traps. It's a long story short. The point is, I just rehabbed. I just coming back to the gym now, and I lost a bunch of weight, and I'm pretty happy with the physique that I got back from when I used to do bodybuilding. I started in the park, you know, just walking in the park because of my injury. When I was going to the park, the point is, I can see people who come and go constantly. I can see people who just show up one day, next month they're gone. That's a horrible way to go about it. Like, I can see people just, I mean, I'm not paying attention to people. It's none of my business. My point is, most people don't stick to a routine. Most people go to gym one time, they work out hard, and then they just quit. And then maybe come back next year. That's literally every single time. Even when I go to the gym, very rare when people stick to a routine in terms of I see different faces every freaking time. It could be a coincidence, yeah, but I've been training since I was 22 years old, right? I'm pretty freaking old now. That's a bunch of years, okay? So every time I go to the gym, it's very rare when I see the same faces like myself, like constantly hacking away at it. Tired, no tired, flu, no flu. No, I'm gonna be in the gym and I'm gonna be lifting those freaking weights, okay? Very rare. That's very rare when people do that. And that's my recommendation. Do that. Don't be that guy who comes in. That's 99%. Be that 1%. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was informative. Don't make crazy mistakes by walking away from the gym and coming back. Just have a routine. If you can handle heavy stress in gym, reduce stress, but keep going. Keep going. It's all about, it's like a marathon. It's not a sprint, like they said. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Have a great time.